I'm feeling grateful to welcome our next guest who is spraying love in all directions and awakening people for realizing the true meaning of inner peace. She is Ms. Amy Blesio, Mahamandleshwar Pandit Yoga Charani Swami Gayatri Devi. She's a Yoga Paripurna School Master and UPF Ambassador for Peace recognized by UN, received honorary doctorate by Techno India University and elected as advisor of this university. In 2010, she received the F. Gandhi Simplicity Award at the Mahatma Gandhi Memorial in New Delhi, India. Amy Blesio is patron of the Women International Network Award for Peace and Non-Violence and member forever of the World Peace Development and Research Foundation India. In Italy, she is member of Seta Mondo Association Board of Directors, Milan Department of Culture and contact person for the Rights and Equal Opportunity section. She is founder and spiritual guide in Milan of Suryanagra Ashram, president of the World Community of IC and TD of UCIYW, official Italian Confederation of Yoga and the International Yoga Confederation of Delhi. Co-founder and ambassador of the World Movement of Yoga and Ayurveda. During the last 20 years, she has published her experiences in 12 books. So please welcome Ms. Amy Blesio.
You may need to switch on the camera. Thank you.
Yes. Namaste. Namaste, Dr. Vika J, for the invitation. Namaskar to all in connection. Now, I speak about a great instrument of a human life, the breath, Pranayama. In a breath, there is the meaning of the life to reach the mind. Life begins with an inhalation and ends with an exhalation. Prana is vital pranayama, breath control. Is the fourth step of Patanjali Yoga Sutra. The word pranayama is made up of prana, life, energy, strength, power, and ayama, control, expansion, balance. Energy for the human being, and it is obtained through the breath. So, the breath, basis of life, it is also the interrelation between inside and outside, the dual that became one. During the inhalation, we take energy, and during the exhalation, we return it. It is an instrument to interchange and becoming through life, which makes us to maintain awareness of the present. Inhale and exhale. It is not as like the attention to the breath that allow us to perceive the reality, with a capital letter R, that we have around us. Pranayama is the means to achieve a perfect balance of soma and the psyche. This balance of the mind occurs through two systems, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. With this practice, we can harmonize breath and nadi, especially the three main ones, involved in the synchronism of the two cerebral hemispheres through vibration and the special vocal emission, mantra, manas, trana, or instrument of mind. They are very powerful vibrations that can change the quality of related energy centers, the chakras, and decisively affect psychophysical activity. As I said before, the synchronism of the two cerebral hemispheres through the mantra, powerful vibrations, modify the quality of energy centers. They definitely act on brain activity. This mental activity, which it must feel the whole, without neglecting any others, it requires a complete and conscious breath. Therefore, the world to which we belong, we can think of it as a single great soul pervaded by a single great breath. We are all part of this one immense breath that identify with the one who has no second. The Brahman Nirguna, that is the principle without form, which manifests itself in the Brahman Saguna with its own form. And the manifestation takes place. The whole is therefore the substance which gives form to the substance. It is the unmanifest that manifests itself. And we are part of this manifestation as much as the other form. And here a doubt should arise. If this is the whole, then what is the difference between a human being, an animal, or plant, or stone? They are just different shapes with the same qualities. Satya, Rajas, and Tamas, in different combination. For example, the stone has more tamas to be material, enough satya to be compact like a stone, and a little bit of raja to give it the time to turn the stone into dust. And they are be part of the same substance of the whole that is one without second. But we see pranayama in a different aspect, a philosophical explanation of the esoteric meaning of the term pranayama. Pranayama is the control and extension of the breath. It is what flows in the mind toward the unification with the cosmic consciousness. This can be understood by going in both paths. Pranayama or the creation from the pra. This is when path begins. The way pravritri or modification of the principle, the pra. Pranayama. It is when one separates and moves away for the matrix, the principle, the pra. And nivritti, or the dissolution, is in the pra, starting from the reverse path, is when the living being returns to the pra, the principle, and merges into it. That is, I will explain in more detail. Creation is a boost that man makes toward moving away from the principle, the matrix, the principle. But then, with the knowledge acquired, returns to the principle, the pra. So, ma, ya, na, pra. Returns to the pra, to the one who has no second. It is a simple but an effective formula. Simple because it explains how the human being emanating from the pra, the absolute, must necessarily return to merge in the absolute that pervades the world. Therefore, the world to which everyone belongs, we can think of it as a single great soul, pervaded by a single great breath. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Asatoma Sagamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritangamaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Sarve Jnana Sukhino Bhavantu Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityormukshiyamamritate Om Shanti 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 Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.
Hari Om Tat Sat. Thank you very much, respected Amiji, for giving so detailed analysis and understanding of pranayama, whatever was possible in this limited period of time. So beautifully, you mentioned that life begins when you inhale and life ends when you exhale. So, whole story of life you mentioned is the story of pranayama only, how you take energy and then you return back the same energy, and in between remaining present and being aware of the present. You also mentioned about sympathetic, parasympathetic nervous system, how mantras and pranayama help us to activate our chakras. And you also mentioned about cerebral hemispheres and how they can be coordinated and synchronized properly through pranayama. Thank you for addressing a very important topic, which is the foundation topic of
Thank
yoga.
you. Thank you. Welcome.
On behalf of United Consciousness, I thank Ms. Blesio for sharing her views. Thank you so much, ma'am.